Thank you for joining us again today. We have with us Tyler Maffitt, our Communications Manager. So thanks for joining us, Tyler.
Hey, happy to be here.
So a lot of things happening in city communications, particularly on our website. Can you give us a few updates of what we're doing, what's happening, the new material on our website?
Yes, you are absolutely correct. There is a ton happening on Eagle Mountain's communication channels. So we've adapted a few things on the city website, and we'll get into that in just a second. And we are doing a ton on social media as well that hopefully residents are finding really, really useful at this time. So as far as what's going on the city website, we have a few new services. I'm sure residents who stay up to date with the latest in city news will recognize them. It'll be our Rumorstop. And then we just introduced a new service called What's Happening, which is where residents can get a hold of information regarding residential development, new businesses that are coming in, and then any road construction projects that are going to be coming into the city as well.
This has been fun to really see develop, and I'm excited to see what kind of engagement we have by residents as we're trying new things and adding to our toolkit, if you will, of ways to increase and improve on that communication with residents, in both directions.
One of the things that I noticed when I came into this position about a year ago is that there was this pattern where residents would commonly message the city directly through our social media, or they would go to another well-known social media channel to ask what was happening, or ask if something they had heard from a neighbor or a friend or somebody else, whether something was true. And I noticed that they were doing that over and over. It's so great being able to have resources from neighboring cities who already have some of these things and incorporate it in a way that's so unique to Eagle Mountain, because residents are curious. They do care about these things, and it's so necessary that we're considering those needs as we communicate with residents about what is happening with the city, but also what's happening out in the community and the role that the city plays in that.
So we have the what's happening. What other things should our residents, what can they expect, and what should they be looking for in these new tools that they can use to their benefit?
Great question. So I'll start with Rumorstop, which is really, it's a one-stop shop where residents can get those pesky rumors that probably circle back around every now and then, get honest answers in a timely manner from the city with up-to-date information. So we've received dozens of questions on a range of topics, and we break it down by category. So that includes generalized community questions, questions related to roads and infrastructure, also questions related to economic development. And folks can send those questions to us, and typically I communicate with the relevant department head here at Eagle Mountain City, and then we try to provide the most honest answer possible. And truth be told, not every submission is a bona fide rumor, as it were, but it is typically pretty relevant, and sometimes it's accurate, but just needs an adjustment for where the question goes, and hopefully Rumorstop is providing that for folks. Okay. With what's happening, folks can get pretty much anything they are interested in understanding a little better, okay? There's so much happening in Eagle Mountain development-wise. It seems like every month there's a new business, a new project, a new proposal that's coming forward that needs to be considered. And so this is a very complex process as it works its way through city government, all the way from the submission and the plan approval, all the way up to city council approval, until the time shovels are in the ground and dirt is being moved for these projects. So what's happening allows folks to understand what is being proposed, where is it in the process, and what is it going to look like time frame wise until it's here. And it's also a comprehensive list of what's coming, and it gives you a picture of the future of Eagle Mountain 6 months, a year, 18 months from now, which I think is really cool.
Well, there is a lot happening here in Eagle Mountain. It's a very busy city, and certainly it's one thing to just push out information, but then to provide that information in a format, in a style that is easily accessible and informative, interesting, and convenient, right? So we look forward to just seeing what our residents think of these improvements. So what else can we expect?
Yeah, so right now, one of the things that my department works on is really educating the public about what government, specifically city government, does, okay? And that encompasses several informational campaigns. So we're in the early part of the year, but that doesn't mean that there aren't things going on that the public could use more information about. As I'm sure you're aware, Utah has had a terrible year for snow and winter precipitation. 95% of Utah's water comes from the available snowpack, and with 2022's levels hovering around the lows of what last year, 2021's numbers are, it's going to be really important to make sure that folks understand and are able to really adjust and adapt their behavior around what that means for our water supplies. That doesn't necessarily mean that Eagle Mountain is stretched for available water. We really try to diversify and make sure that we have the necessary resources for our residents. But it does mean that there are steps that can be taken that are reasonable and that it can be done with facts, data, and reason behind it. And this is really a good thing. So you're going to be seeing this over the next few months on our social media to really conserve water, limit lawn watering to appropriate levels, and to really integrate that into what they do in their day-to-day habits.
Well, our lives tend to be busy and stressful enough as is. And it's no surprise that residents are concerned about things like water and what their local government may be doing about it or around the subject, and so that they can stay both informed and have options should they choose to use those options without having to panic or be stressed about some unintended consequence that perhaps maybe they weren't aware of. So
informed choice is always the right move when it comes to making decisions.
Definitely, definitely. I think we may have another nugget or two that our residents could look forward to in making their options for getting information a little more convenient, easier, and to suit their lifestyle. What else do we have coming up to help?
Apart from the tools that we've been building on the city website, which I think we're really proud of at this point, we want to make interacting with Eagle Mountain City as easy as possible for residents. We know from just the data that we collect in my department that most residents here in Eagle Mountain access the city website through their tablet or mobile device, primarily mobile devices. So we wanted to really adapt and adjust what we offer so that residents can really have that added layer of convenience. And so in the first part of March, which is in just a couple of weeks here, we will be launching the Eagle Mountain City app. It will not be available on the App Store or on Android, but it will be available through a link that we will provide through our social media. What we really tried to accomplish with this app is taking some of the city's most popular services that we know just through the data that we watch and that we collect and that residents interact with, and putting it at the forefront of that application so that people can have added convenience for reporting code violations, reporting issues to the city, getting utility bills handled, contacting their elected representatives. And we think this is just a faster and easier way to really engage.
That sounds great. Certainly streamlining that process, making it simpler, and speeding up response times. That all sounds like good things, and so certainly I have high hopes for that. Hopefully our residents will engage and use those tools. All right, in closing, anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, well, thank you, Tyler. All right, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next time.